Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa. So this is part of this tutorial series on making this file folder. I've already recorded a flip through on making this whole file folder, and I will link it to this video so that you can go and have a look. The tutorial ended up being really long. Although I filmed it over one day, it was just massively too long. So I have chopped it into parts, and I'm sorry it's a little bit choppy. So I just thought I would film this little intro so that you knew where it all sort of fit in and what we were making at the end. So this is the file folder. I made this file folder using this set of file folders, SVG files, and it also comes as a set of printable templates. In the description box below, I will have written all of the pieces that I used and how many of each piece I cut out to make this. I also wanted to mention that in the video, I actually cut out all my mats out of this very vibrant orange cardstock and matted sort of as I went along, using these as templates that I could just trace around and cut out. So I just wanted to mention that because that is another way to do it. You don't have to use your Cricut for everything, or your electronic cutting machine. And so sometimes I like to use my SVG files like this. If I'm using paper and I just particularly want a section of that piece of paper, then I can easily line up my template to do that. Sometimes I'm just sitting here and I'm watching a video and I can't be bothered loading and unloading my Cricut. Sometimes I want to use a tiny little scrap of paper. So, you know, the SVG files and the printable templates are a tool, and you can use them any way you like. It's basically what I wanted to say. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the tutorial. I'm sorry it's a little bit choppy with the way I had to split it up, but I thought it would save you sitting and watching a very, very long tutorial. So anyway, I'll link the video tutorial now. So thanks for your time. See you guys soon. Bye. Alright, so I have cut out all my little pieces, and I have used my SVGs to cut out each of these pieces from cardstock. And the cardstock that I'm using is this cardstock here that you can easily buy in Australia from Spotlight, but you use whatever cardstock you like to use. I just thought I'd show you. It's 65 pound or 176 GSM, and I'm just using the white, and I've already inked around the edges of some of these pieces, and I am inking today in Gathered Twigs. So I did cut these pieces out a few days ago and then didn't get around to doing this tutorial, so I have to try and remember what I had in mind for all these bits, so this should be fun. But just as a reminder, I'm using this set of file folder SVG files, and they also come as printable templates. So if you grab the SVG, it might look like this, or at least these are all the pieces that come in it. It depends which set of files you use. It either comes as one big file like this, or if you're using a Brothers Scan and Cut or an electronic cutting machine that requires it to have a piece on the pieces can only fit on a 12 by 12 canvas, then it's broken up into a number of files. But these are all the files that you get, or all the pieces that you get. So the blue bits are cardstock, the pink bits are scrapbook paper. If you grabbed the printable templates, then the printable templates come as a set of 14 pages, and the first 9 pages are the actual pieces themselves that I've cut out of cardstock, and the last few pages are the mats for each of those. So I'm going to refer to this one today, but everything has the same name, whether it's the printable templates or the SVG file, but this one's just a nice easy way to look at it. And I was having a conversation with someone the other day who was saying that they don't use the SVGs in quite the way that I design them. And I just wanted to say they're a tool, and you can use them any way you like. And I don't even use them all the time the way that I've designed them. So I have designed them so that you can cut out the mats for each of the pieces as an SVG. And then you could cut each mat individually using your electronic cutting machine. But I also do this for a lot of my projects. So I cut the mats out of cardstock, and then I just write on them what they are, And so then if I want to, I can just use this as a printable template, and I do often do that, but I don't show that on camera, so we might do a bit of that today as well. Alright, so let's just have a go, shall we? I can't remember what I wanted all these pieces for, so this should be fun. I do remember what I wanted to do for the cover though, so that's a good start anyway. So for the cover, the front and back cover, I have cut some of the base pages. Now I have cut 2 of base page 1 and 2 of base page 2, and the only difference with those guys is exact where the little tab is on the side. So this one here has a tab on the top and this one here has a tab in the middle. If you turn the tab on the top one over, like this one here, if you turn it over, the tab is now on the bottom. So in fact you could have 3 lined up like this with one on the top, and you can easily have 3 in a row just like that. So just remember that you can flip this guy over, and that's for all of the pieces. If the tab's on the top, you can always flip it over and then the tab will be on the bottom. So you get to choose where you want the tab, and then of course the tab in the middle is always in the middle. But I have cut 2 of these and 2 of those. Yeah, that's what I've done. let's make the, oh, and I also need 1 of the spine ones that I've cut out of cardstock as well, which is in this little pile. I'm sorry, I'm usually a bit more organized than this, but we will persevere. Okay, so for the front cover, my idea was that I was going to, and the same for the back cover, is I was going to take one of the base 1 pages and one of the base 2 pages and put them together and make it into a pocket. So to do that, I need to cut some tabs off. So on this one here that I'm going to have at the back, I'm just going to cut these 2 long tabs off. So that's for my front cover. And then for my back cover, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm keeping one with all of the tabs on, and that's this one here that I've already inked up. And this one here, I'm going to cut off those 2 tabs. Alright, so let's just do that. So I have got my handy dandy cutting board or whatever it's called, and I'm just going to line up my score line, if I could see it. Line up my score line that is on my Cricut, and of course if you're using the printable templates, you would just trim them off if you were printing it out, or you could, if you were tracing around them, you just wouldn't trace this piece. This little tab, you would just lift it up and you wouldn't include it at all, so you wouldn't have to cut it off. Okay, so that's one. And then the same with one of these, this one here. Just lining up that score line that my Cricut made for me. Trimming it off. And the same on this side. I can't see the score lines, so we just have to hope for the best. Okay. And pop that away. Grab some glue and grab all my pieces, my little stash over there. And which one was my front cover and which one was my back cover? I don't remember. Okay, this one's my front cover and that one's my back cover. And then for this one, I think I was going to do it like that. Okay, so for this piece here, we're going to fold these 2 tabs in and glue them to these sections here. And we're also going to then put some glue on this piece and glue it down here. I think we'll do that first. So it will line up like that. That's what we're going to do. So it's ridiculously early here in the morning, and but it's the quietest time of the day in the house, so I try to use that time to do videos. and then it's sort of, you know, I'm not saying to everybody shh, shh. And hopefully the dogs don't bark. And I've got really hopeless at sleeping. Now I did not line that up very well, I feel like. We'll see how we go. We might have to trim it off a little bit. Okay, so that's that one there. And then I'm going to put some glue on these two tabs. This one here and this one down here. And flip her over and just press it down. I'll grab my bone folder and give it a press. Like so. How does that look? How do my edges look? Not bad. I'll put a little bit of ink on those and you'll never know that my lining up is not always perfect. I do a better job when I'm not recording. Just want to put that out there. Okay, so that is our front cover. And it's now a pocket front cover. It doesn't have to be a pocket front cover, but that's what I wanted it to be today. So I'm just folding this tab in because we're going to use that tab in a minute. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing with the back cover. So we're going to attach this one to here. Put a bit of glue on there. And I might fold this tab over. I want to line this one up along here and along here. Like so. Give it a little press. I've managed to put a bit of pencil all the way along there. That's alright, I can erase it. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip this guy open and fold this one in and this one in and put some glue on those two. And then close it up. Like so. A bit of burnish. Might just get rid of those little pencil marks that I've accidentally put on there. Don't know how that happened. There we go. So I've just written on here BP1 for base page 1, just so I remembered to tell you. So I didn't line it up very well up here, but that's alright. We'll just put a little bit of ink on there and you'll never know. No one will ever know. Okay, so that's our front cover and our back cover. And now to join them together, we're just going to attach them to this spine. So the spine is this little guy here, which is this one here. And I'm going to put it on the outside. I'll put the tabs on the outside because I will probably cover it up with lace. You could also put them on the inside, but I think it makes for a stronger file folder if you put those tabs on the outside. That's just my opinion. I do want to put a little ink on this side of the tab because I think you might see that a little bit. So I'll just quickly run that down there. And the same with this one. Put a little ink along here. Like so. So I think I want it to go that way actually. So the tab is down the bottom. So I probably should have inked this side. Well, we'll do it now. Okay, so that's like that. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue on this tab and attach it to my spine piece. So just, I'm going to give it a little, I'm not going to butt it up really, really tight against the page itself. I'm just going to give it a little tiny wee bit like that. See how we're going on the outside, stuck down, okay, yeah. And then we're going to do the same here. I'm just going to give this a little burnish so it folds nicely, and then put a bit of glue on here and attach this one to here, just like so. Flip her over, like that. Now I'm thinking actually I could cut another piece of the spine and put that on top, and I think that's what I've done before. So if you cut another spine, you could just glue that on top and it would reinforce your spine and also give you a neater finish if you were going to not cover it with anything. Okay, so that is the beginning of our file folder, and it's got a nice decent sized little spine there. Okay, so then I have got these guys here. So I think my plan was that I was going to attach these pockets, but I was going to turn them into flips to the inside here, so that then they would flip out like this on each side. So these pieces I have here are side pocket one. So I've cut out 2 of the side pocket ones, and I'm just going to cut off the tabs on each one of those. So let's do that. I'll get this out of the way and put my lid back on. There we go. Alright, then, so I've got my score line along here for this tab in case I wanted it to be a pocket, but I'm going to use it as a flip instead. So I'm just going to trim that one and do the same here. Trim this one. And then I'm going to do the same for this one here. So we've got one for the inside front cover and one for the inside back cover, like so. Then that's just about as much as I can remember as what I had planned to do. So these SVG files are really, I've tried to design it so it's really versatile, so you can, you know, use each of the pieces as much as you like in as many different ways as you can possibly think of, and I'm not showing you every way you can use them today. You know, you just explore it for yourself and make what you would like. So let's throw that away. And then let's just ink up those bits. I like to do the inking of these bits afterwards, because if you fold them first, I just don't think you get quite as neat an edge. But that's just my opinion. So it's going to ink along there and ink along here. Of course, you don't have to ink it all. But I'm thinking I'm going to go for a bit of a vintagey feel with this one, so I'm going to ink. I'm actually thinking I might need to use my corner rounder as well, so let's grab that out while I have a little think about this. Okay, so when I open her up on this side, I'm going to have one of these. Now, do I want a tab at the bottom, at the top, at the side? I don't know. I think I'm going to put it like that. So I'm just lining it up along here and going to glue that tab down. I might round that corner. like that. And then I think I might need to put a little bit of ink along here. And along here. Okay, so which way did I decide? I can't remember. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it there like that so then it flips out. Let's do it. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on here and here. And just give it a press. Make sure it's stuck. And pretty well lined up. Didn't do too bad. Okay, then I'm going to use this one and do the same thing on this side, and I might put the tab up the top for this one. How about that? And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink along here. So I'm going to put some glue on this tab. And line it up along here. Oh, hang on, I was going to round the corner. Oh my goodness, I forget that every single time. I mean, I could have done it afterwards. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. Oh, a bit croaky again this morning. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. Looking good. Alright, so that is the cover of our file folder. Flips out like so. I've got little bits all over it. And then it closes up like that. And we have a pocket in the front and a pocket in the back. Okay, so now we need to do what the pieces that are going in the center, in this center section. So let's close this one up and put it to the side. And I remember that I have cut out some more of the base pages and I've cut out the skinny spine. Okay, so here's the skinny spine. Let's get rid of some of these paper clips. And then I need some more base pages. Here we go. So I have cut one of each. So I've cut one of the base 1 pages and, no I haven't, I've cut 2 of the base 1 pages and I've just flipped one over so it's at the bottom and one over so it's at the top, and then I've got my little spine, and we're just going to glue these guys together again. That bears. So we need to, we're not going to make these as pocket pages, they're just normal pages. So we need to cut the tabs off the top and the bottom again. So let's get a cotton board. And once again, I'm going to line up those score lines. Trim that off. And this one. Where is that score line? No, I did not do a very good job of that. That score line is, this light is terrible. There. Okay, so let's line that up and that up. Better, not perfect. Well, why would we want to start doing perfect, hey? Okay, and that one. And then this one. Like so. There we go. Put that away. Throw these away. I mean, you could reuse these. I was thinking the other day, because I'm completely into paper B rolling at the moment, that these guys might make really good paper beads. Maybe I'll just pop those to the side and I'll give it a go and I'll get back to you. I'll let you know how they go. Okay. So I'm going to do a little more inking. Sorry about this. It's pretty rough inking. And here. Okay, and this one. We might do a little corner rounding on this too. I think these little corners here, I think if you round them, they withstand use a little bit better. But if you don't round them, they can sometimes get a little bit dog-eared over time. But you can do it either way. So let's just do that before I forget. Like so. And this one. Okay. So now I'm just going to join these two together, and I think I'm going to have one at the top and one at the bottom. And I am going to put some glue on this tab and pop my spine on top. Skinny little spine, like so. And you can see the tab is almost the same size as the spine, so then when we stick this one down, we're actually sticking this on top of this tab that's already there, and that is fine. You don't see it, and it'll just make the spine stronger. So let's put a little bit of glue on here. And then attach this page and spine to this page, like so. And glue it down. Just going to make sure that I have given this enough room to fold, yes. And the same on this side. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold it over and give this little burnish down here, make sure it's pretty well stuck. Okay, happy with that. So that's our inside pages. So I want to attach these inside pages to the spine of my outside cover. So all I'm going to do is line it up and pop it down on here like this. But I'm going to, you can see there's a little bit of the bottom spine that you can see. I'm going to put my mat for my spine on there first. So I'm going to use my little templates for this. So I'm going to find my mat template for my spine, which is this one here. So I've just said file folder spine mat, and you can see that that is my spine mat just there. And then I'm going to find a piece of paper to cut it out of. I cut some pattern. I decided, you will not believe how long it took me to decide what paper to use for this. In the end, I decided to use one of my digi kits. This is called Vintage Plum Roses, and there's 10 of them. 10 A4 printable pages, but of course if you click fit to page, then it will be your letter sized or whatever it is that you're cutting them out on. So this is just my little booklet for reference that this is what I've got. And there is also a set of planner pages that come with this, you know, that match, and I was thinking I might make a little planner to go in the middle of my file folder using these. So anyway, let me show you the papers quickly. This is called Vintage Plum Roses, and there's 10 of them. And so we have some roses, and we have a collage sheet of vintage papers, a little bit of lace there. Got some graph paper with some flowers, some stripes, because you can't go wrong with stripes, some spots and text, some damask, because I do love my damask. Then we have this big flower page. Then we just have a sort of a coffee stained, messy, very messy coffee stained sort of page. And then the another collage page with a little bit of damask on it as well. And then another one of these little prints of the roses. So I'm actually thinking I might just use this coffee stained page for my spine. So I'm just going to line up my little template along here. Maybe, yeah, I'll just use this little edge bit here. And I've printed this, I think it's on about 120 GSM paper, and I do not know what that is in pounds. Not a clue. Okay, so then I'm just going to line this up along here, something like that. Might not be perfect, but that's okay. Trim that off, trim that off, and then I'll put this back over here to use later. So I don't normally mat until the end, but because I want to stick something on top of this mat, I'm going to do it now. So I'll just ink around the edges. And also I wanted you guys to know that, you know, I use the SVGs just like this as well. Sometimes you can't be bothered loading up the Cricut with paper. Sometimes you just want to sit at your desk and cut. I get that. I do it too. I'm going to just slide that back in there. And then I can just pop my little mat on here. Sometimes you want to use funny little scrappy pieces, and sometimes you can't be bothered turning on your computer, or all of the above. Sometimes you particularly want to find, oh, my glue's not coming out. I checked it before I started. Sometimes, well, I was going to say something. Or sometimes you want to use a particular little piece of the pattern on the paper, and it's just easier to line it up by hand than it is to try and get it right on your Cricut, even if you're using Snap Mat. And sometimes you just don't want to be a techno. Alright, so I'm just going to put my mat on here, like so. Glue it down. Probably won't actually see too much of the mat, but you know, at least I know it's there. Okay, so then we can take those other pieces. What did I do with them? The centered pieces, these. And we can line them up and glue them on here. So I'm just going to dry fit it. So I'm just going to see if that's about even on both sides. Can't do it that way, I have to do it this way. If I put it about there, that would be pretty centered. It just moved about like that. I might just put a little, oh. Maybe about there. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, does it? Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue along this back of this spine here. We want a fair bit. We want to make sure that she sticks down. Okay, now which way do I want the tabs? I think I'll go like this. Alright, so I'm just going to try and line it up on here. Quickly, before I've pressed it down, I'm just trying to make sure that the that it's fairly centered. I feel like I could slide over this way just a hair. That looks about right. Let's make sure it's lined up at the top. Okay, and press and press. Make sure we're happy here. Now I don't feel like that's all that straight, Katie. Never mind. I'm getting rid of my little mark that in the end meant nothing. I don't know, maybe it is. Who knows? Okay. I'm happy with that. So now we have the middle pages in nice and easy, and now we can just start popping things on our pages. So that's where I have all of these bits cut out, and I absolutely for the life of me can't remember what my plan was. Oh dear. I think I tell you what, give me a couple of minutes. I will sort of lay some bits and pieces out on here and see if I can remember how it all goes together so that I don't waste your time, because I have all of these pieces here and I can't remember where I wanted to put them. So I'll just go away and have a little fiddle, and then I'll come back and I'll know where all the pieces are meant to be, and we can do that. All right, I'll see you soon.